君と出会う前の私にも戻れないね。やり直してもきっとここにたどり着くよ。
Akiba's Beat is a follow-up to the game Akiba's Trip Undead and Undressed, but plays a lot differently. Rather than being a beat-em-up style of game, it is a full-fledged action JRPG with a 30-hour-long story. The game was developed by Acquire and published over here in the West by Xseed. I love you, Xseed. The game was released May 16th, 2017 for both the PS4 and the PlayStation Vita. This review will be based on the PS4 version of the game. Now let's hop into our review of Akiba's Beat. Can you imagine?
The night sky is a tapestry of shooting stars, each bearing a wish upon it. But what are those wishes? People wish for money. They wish for love. Some wish to change the future, others the past. But could you really call such absurd hopes wishes? What we call wishes are, well, nothing more than delusions.
The game starts off by dropping you right into the dungeon crawling action, teaching you the basics of combat before throwing you out to start the story. You play as the protagonist, Asahi Tachibana, a 19-year-old NEET who lives in Japan. If you don't know what a NEET is, it's a person who is not currently working or pursuing an education. Asahi moved to Japan for college but has since dropped out. He now spends his days watching anime and playing video games all night and waking up at 2 PM. One day he decides to explore around the city. He had also made plans to meet his best friend Mizuki, who invited him out to dinner. On his way to visit Mizuki, he notices something wrong with a part of the city, like something is different. He also finds a door that is out of place. That's when he meets another party member named Saki, along with our support member Pikun. Saki explains about what is going on, but Asahi doesn't really get it. They both go inside something called a delusion and fight some monsters. After destroying the boss of the dungeon, they are sent out. That's when Asahi looks at his phone. It reads Sunday, which was the day of the week yesterday. Thinking it's a glitch or something, he heads home. That's where he receives the same email from Mizuki that he received yesterday. It seems he is in a time loop. From there, the story tends to drag on quite a bit longer than it should. The game is around 30 to 40 hours long, depending on if you're rushing through or not. There are also subquests in the game for every character, some of them providing backstories where others are really dumb. Like, one of the quests had me running around the city looking for a cat for no fucking reason at all. The game has a very strong repetitive nature, and I almost stopped playing there. But the game does pick up again at the final few chapters.
It's over!
Akiba's Beat is an action JRPG. Its gameplay style is literally taken from the Tales of series, being the exact same in almost every way. You have a basic attack that builds up your SP, and you can use skills that cost SP. While you fight, you are building up your Imagine meter, which is basically the same as an overlimit meter from Tales of the Abyss and other Tales of games. The only difference is that Akiba's Beat fighting style is very janky and does not feel fluent at all. When you are hit by certain attacks, you are sent flying back, and it will take time to get back up. You can get hit back down again while you are getting back up, which is quite annoying. The feature I do like is the Imagine mode. You can even choose your own song to fight to during this mode. You get a cool looking animation, and you can hit the enemy without stopping till the song is over. A lot of the Imagine mode songs are very catchy. Outside the battle, you can change your party member stats by changing their PPs. Yep, you heard that right. It stands for Personal Computer. It's basically a computer. You can change the motherboard, CPU, graphics card, hard drive, which all affect your stats and other things in battle. I think it's a really cool feature to include in a game based in Akiba, as it's one of the biggest places for tech in Japan.
So, you don't know these people?
We've met Akari once before, but this is the first time I've ever met her boss.
Let's just ignore them and take down the Grand Phantasm.
Go on Akiba's trips, groove to Akiba's beat, raise our kids the Akiba way, and eventually die in Akiba's arms. In other words, we're defenders of truth, justice, and the Akihabara way. Oh, hey, he's actually done. But that's why we can't have you getting in our way. Just leave this fearsome foe to us freedom fighters. Or to me, anyway. I can take it all by my lonesome. Hurry, you mind handling this one for me?
Fine. Just remember, guys, if you get in the boss...
The audio in this game is pretty good, as it should be for a JRPG. I'm not a huge fan of the battle theme, but the overworld music in some parts of the game and the dungeon music is really good at times. Due to the game not being very well known, it's hard to find certain tracks on YouTube. There is this one track that plays when Reiji joins your party late into the game, and it changes the overworld music when you're running around in Akiba. I love that track so much, but I can't find it online for the life of me. As for the visuals, the game is available for the Vita, so they couldn't go crazy with the textures or anything, but I'm surprised how detailed Akiba is. You can find a bunch of parody stores and stuff like that you can actually find in Akiba, such as a Sega building that's renamed, a KFC building under a different name, and plenty of other things. Just like in Akiba's Trip, a lot of Japanese stores are also in the game, such as Softmap and other stores. There are also Japanese advertisements for real anime and video games, making the game even more immersive.
This should be where he was waiting for me all this time.
We're sorry, but this number is not available at this time.
Why the hell not?
Oh, my. What seems to be the problem?
Huh?
You know, a contorted expression like that can shatter the mystique of the most handsome of men.
Who are you?
Oh, where are my manners? My card.
Akemi?
That's correct. I am Akemi, a wondrous lady from any angle and by any standard.
Okay.
So, now that I've introduced myself, may I ask what troubles you?
In conclusion, Akiba's Beat is a very strong story-based RPG. It has its highs and lows when it comes to the performance of telling the story. Alongside the story, it has combat that doesn't quite work the way it should. Even though there are a lot of things wrong with this game, I still very much enjoyed the theme of the game. It reminded me a lot of Persona 4 with the dungeons. The game is very long, and things can be trimmed down within the game. With all this in mind, I'll be giving Akiba's Beat a 6 out of 10. Anyways, thanks for watching my review. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like and consider subscribing. I'll see you guys in the next video.